Hey, how's it going? So, 007 here. I haven't done a video like this in quite a while because, you know, didn't need to. But this is technically a new channel because my original 007 channel got deleted. And so then I started the Magic Tree House, and that's got a strike, so I've started up 007 again as a backup channel, and I've just recently been graced with the pleasure of the trolls that attached themselves to me a few years ago, like 3 years ago, 2.5, 3 years ago, and they've been pretty, you know, persistent. None of them have done any of their research at all. If there's even more than one, because I do suspect that there is actually only one, but doesn't matter. They come into my live stream and try to embarrass me or shame me or defame me or whatever. They make slanderous comments, calling me, you know, all kinds of things, saying that I've done all kinds of things, accusing me of murder, accusing me of having a relationship with a 15-year-old girl, that kind of thing, which shows how much research they've done. Because in 2000, on the 23rd of December 2000, whilst travelling back from God's Kitchen nightclub in Birmingham, travelling from there back to our room in Norwich, me and my 19-year-old girlfriend, she'd just turned 19, I was 23 at the time, she was 19, I was 23, and I fell asleep at the wheel after a whole night out. Like, it was about, we left the club at about 6:40 in the morning. I wasn't under the influence of anything, I hadn't been drinking or anything all night. I had Coca-Cola, orange juice, and on the way back, travelling back, I fell asleep. We got lost, which added like an hour to the journey. And we got lost, and I fell asleep at the wheel and had a head-on collision with a Renault van that was coming back in the opposite direction. And we were both doing about 60, well, I was doing 65 and he was doing 60. And my girlfriend, Alicia, spelled with a C, not with an S. They can't even spell her name right. They claim to be friends of her family, but they can't even spell her name right. They don't even have the respect to spell her name correctly. It's Alicia. We called her Alicia, but it was spelled Alicia. But she was my leash. She was Alicia. And yeah, she was killed instantly. And that was 22 years ago this year. 22 years ago this year. And I didn't properly come to terms with it until 2016. It took like 16 years of self-torture and all kinds of stuff. It wasn't a nice time for 16 years. But in the last 6 years, I've come to terms with what's happened. I'm able to talk about it. And I'm not bothered by trolls. But for the sake of anybody else that's watching, for the sake of transparency, because, you know, they make all kinds of accusations. That's the story. That's what happened. I went to prison, not for a long time, originally sentenced to 3 years. My solicitor appealed, and I got a year knocked off the sentence because they thought it was too harsh because of what happened, because I'd fallen asleep at the wheel, and she was extremely important to me. My soulmate. The judge doesn't really care about that, but I did make it very clear. It was very clear to everybody how devastated I was when it happened. Let alone how devastated her parent, not her parents, her dad was dead, but is dead, but her mum and her brother. And, I have to live with that for the rest of my life. The guilt, doesn't go away. But, do you know one thing? Trolls don't make me feel guilty. Nothing anybody can say can make me feel guilty. Nothing anybody can say could make me feel better or worse about it. Nothing, absolutely nothing. It's always been the case that nothing anybody can say makes any difference. Because this is my reality. I'm the one that experienced it. In their realities, in other people's realities, that's your experience. And this is mine. And all I can do is try to imagine, and trust me, I spent a long time not even wishing to, just automatically imagining what it would be like to be Alicia's mum or her brother, and feeling how I think I would feel if it was, if it was my sister. I've got a sister, and if somebody fell asleep at the wheel and killed my sister, how would I feel about that? So, trolls, there's nothing you can say or do. You can keep showing me the attention. That's fine by me. I don't care. And anybody that's worth any salt, they won't care what you have to say either, because they'll know from my general demeanor, from my general me, like the way that I am. You either love me or you hate me, man. I'm like Marmite. I'm like Marmite spread thick. You either love me or you hate me, and it makes no difference to me which one. Really, it's always nice to be loved, but if you hate me and you've got some reason for that, it's not my weight, it's yours. You're the one that's carrying that, not me. Like, anyone that is hating on me, I've got no real I don't care. I don't care. I'm one of these wankers that's just like, really? You don't like it? Oh well. Because I'm good with me. I'm good with me. And I've paid my dues for everything that I've done in my life. So, yeah, anyway, there you go. I won't do this video again. If I have to start a new channel, I'll probably upload this video on that channel. I'll keep hold of this one so I don't have to bother going through the explanation again. But that's the story. And if you're gonna troll me, get the fucking details right. At least get the facts right, you know? Because you're being more disrespectful, not just to me. I mean, you won't care being disrespectful to me, but you're being disrespectful to her. And if you claim to be a friend of hers or a friend of her family's, Alicia, if you are claiming to be a friend of the Bennett family, have some respect and learn the facts before you come sticking your nose in. And always, always be grateful that you're all the way over there and I'm all the way over here. Because
Use it to the fullest. Be